Hello, welcome to the timeless universe. Hello, and welcome to a journey that might just break your brain. I want you to pause for a second and think about the last minute that just passed. You can feel it, can't you? It's gone. It slipped through your fingers and is now locked away in a place we call the past. The moment you're in right now, this present, feels real, immediate, and special. And the future? That's a vast, unwritten territory we're all marching towards 1 second at a time. This feeling, this unstoppable river of time carrying us from birth to death, is the most fundamental experience of our existence. It's so intuitive, so deeply ingrained in our language and our thoughts that questioning it sounds like madness. But what if I told you that, according to some of the most brilliant minds in physics, this entire experience, the flow, the past, the present, the future, is a grand and persistent illusion? Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the most profound and unsettling ideas in all of science: the concept that time, as we know it, doesn't really exist. This isn't some fringe philosophical debate. It's a conclusion that arises directly from the equations that govern our universe. For over a century, physics has been quietly building a case against time. The problem starts with a strange omission in our most fundamental laws. Think about Newton's laws of motion, or Maxwell's equations for electromagnetism, or even Einstein's relativity. They are all time-symmetric. This means the equations work just as perfectly if time is running forwards or backwards. They describe the how of the universe with incredible precision, but they contain no built-in arrow of time. There is no variable, no term, no fundamental reason within these laws for time to flow in one direction. To physics, a movie of a glass falling and shattering is just as valid as a movie of the shards flying back together to form a perfect glass. So, if the fundamental laws don't care about the direction of time, why do we? Why do we remember the past but not the future? Why do eggs break but never unbreak? This is one of the biggest mysteries in physics. The only major physical law that seems to give time a direction is the second law of thermodynamics. This law states that in an isolated system, entropy, a measure of disorder or randomness, always tends to increase. A neat room gets messy. A hot cup of coffee cools down to room temperature. The universe as a whole is moving from a state of low entropy to a state of high entropy. So, we perceive the past as the state of lower entropy and the future as the state of higher entropy. But here's the mind-bending part. This isn't a fundamental law about the arrow of time. It's a statistical probability. It's just vastly more likely for things to be disordered than ordered. It's like shuffling a deck of cards. It's possible to shuffle them back into perfect order, but it's astronomically improbable. So, is our feeling of time's flow just a consequence of us living in a universe that is moving from an improbable ordered state to a more probable disordered one? Many physicists believe so. Time doesn't flow, the universe just unwinds in the direction of increasing probability. Our minds, with their ability to form memories, have evolved to perceive this unfolding as a forward-moving current. The past is simply the recorded memory of a more ordered universe, and the future is the unknown, more disordered state to come. This perspective begins to chip away at the special status of the present. The now becomes less of a universal moving spotlight and more of a subjective psychological construct. And as we're about to see, when Albert Einstein entered the picture, this quiet chipping away at the foundation of time turned into a full-scale demolition. Block 2. The Block Universe and Quantum Reality. If the idea of time being a product of entropy is strange, then prepare yourself, because Albert Einstein took things to a whole new level. His theory of relativity didn't just question the flow of time, it shattered the very concept of a universal now. Before Einstein, we all operated on a Newtonian clockwork model of the universe, where time was absolute, ticking away at the same rate for everyone, everywhere. But Einstein showed this was fundamentally wrong. One of the most critical consequences of his theory is the relativity of simultaneity. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple and devastating. Imagine two lightning bolts strike a moving train, one at the front and one at the back. For a person standing on the ground halfway between them, the light from both strikes reaches them at the same time, so they declare the events simultaneous. But for a person sitting in the middle of the train, moving towards the front strike, the light from the front bolt reaches them the light from the rear bolt. For them, the events are simultaneous. Who is right? According to Einstein, both of them are. There is no absolute universal now that everyone can agree on. My present moment is not the same as the present moment for someone flying in a jet or for an alien in a galaxy moving at a different velocity. This realization forced physicists to abandon the idea of time as a separate entity and merge it with the three dimensions of space. The result is a four-dimensional reality called space-time. And this is where we get the most radical and elegant model of a timeless reality, the block universe. Imagine all of existence, every event that has ever happened and ever will happen, as a giant four-dimensional block. This block contains the Big Bang at one end and the ultimate fate of the universe at the other. Within this block, your entire life is already laid out, not as a flowing story, but as a static pattern, a world line stretching from your birth to your death. In this block universe model, the past, present, and future are not distinct realities. They all exist simultaneously and are equally real, just as different locations in space are equally real. The past isn't gone, it's just a different coordinate in space-time. The future isn't unwritten, it's another coordinate you haven't reached yet. The feeling that we are moving through time is just that, a feeling. It's our consciousness experiencing slice after slice of this pre-existing block, like the laser on a Blu-ray player reading the frames of a movie that already exists in its entirety on the disc. The implications are staggering. If the future is already there, does that mean free will is an illusion? Is every choice we will ever make already a part of this static cosmic block? It's a deeply unsettling thought. And then quantum mechanics wades into the conversation and makes things even stranger. At the most fundamental level of reality, time seems to disappear entirely. The most famous equation in quantum cosmology, the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, which attempts to describe the entire universe, remarkably contains no time variable. In the quantum view of the whole cosmos, there is no before and no after. There is just a static, timeless is. Many physicists now believe that time is not fundamental, but an emergent property, something that appears at a macroscopic level from the complex interactions of timeless quantum events, much like temperature emerges from the motion of individual atoms. So, from the cosmic scale of relativity to the microscopic scale of quantum mechanics, our most advanced physics points to the same conclusion. The familiar flowing river of time is a subjective illusion created by our minds to make sense of a static, timeless, and infinitely more mysterious universe. The past, present, and future have, in a sense, been deleted by the laws of physics, leaving us to contemplate a reality where everything that ever was and ever will be simply is. So, if your life is just a static pattern in a block of space-time, does that make your choices meaningless? Or does it make every single moment an eternal part of the universe's fabric? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more reality-shattering science, and we'll see you in the next one.